Hey, Embark Studios just recently discussed players that have been hacked. We'll go over their response on how they're going to explain expeditions in a future blog post to give us more details about it. And they're looking into a huge exploit on Stella Montis. Not only that, we're going to talk about so much more. If you can do me a solid, let's start the video off by tapping the thumbs up button and the hype button below. With that said, let's jump in. Hey Raiders, so I want to kick this video off by quickly talking about a massive glitch that's ruining games right now. If you haven't heard, there's a hidden rope on Stella Montis that lets you grab it, rappel straight up, and climb out of the map and basically shoot raiders from out of bounds. I'm not going to show you how to exactly do it or show you the correct location, and please don't abuse it, but I am going to show you how just ridiculous this spot is right here. Look at this clip. There's literally a rope floating above the entrance. You can grab it, and boom, you're outside of the map. You might be thinking, what's the big deal? Well, the big issue is you can attack players from out of bounds, like I just mentioned, with zero counterplay. They can't attack you back, and that's a huge problem. I actually had someone do it to me while I was walking down the hallway. Good news, though, there is some good news after all with all this bullcrap going on. The Embark Studios team already knows about it. Their community manager replied in the official Arc Raiders Discord to someone who posted the clip and said, "Thanks for the info, I'll go ahead and forward this to the team." So right there, that's amazing. Fingers crossed that they release a hotfix or some sort of patch this week and just delete that rope entirely. Personally, if this wasn't a PvP game, I wouldn't even care, and I probably wouldn't even share this out. I love going out of bounds to see how levels are built. It's super interesting. But right now, it's straight up exploitable, so my advice, avoid Stella Montis for a few days, at least until Wednesday, possibly Thursday, until they can release a patch and hopefully resolve the entire issue with the rope and also figure out these spawn camping issues too. There's just a bunch of stuff here on this particular map that's broken, and it sucks because I actually really enjoy playing it. Anyway, that's the latest news about the whole issue surrounding Stella Montis. Let's hope Embark Studios drops a quick fix. Alright, up next, there's a team member at Embark Studios who replied to a great question. We can see a raider ask if they can release a blog post where they go into detail about the main mechanics of expeditions and how it works. Embark Studios team member Asim replied to the post by saying they're looking into it, which is great to know. I'm sure there's a majority of you out there who are like, well, they explained it in-game. And sure, the developers have done it, right? However, I've seen several questions asked about it, such as how the bulletin points on the info page in-game are a little bit confusing, and a lot of players have been speculating stuff surrounding the expedition tab. With that said, I'll let you know in an upcoming video if Embark Studios ends up posting a blog post about the expeditions. Oh, and speaking of expeditions, there's another great question here where a player wanted to know if the developers can give us any word on the stash value for expeditions. The same exact Embark Studios team member from earlier replied that she's trying to find out. And yeah, that's great news that she's trying to dig up information for us on how it exactly works. So the same thing here, I'll let you know in a different video if the developers are able to explain this as well. Now, she also replied quickly to another question right here, and this response is kind of the same as the previous one, and you'll see why. There's a raider who asked if raider decks are going to be free in the foreseeable future. Her response was that she doesn't have 100% confirmation just yet. I think if they're able to do that and give us more free content, that would be absolutely stellar. But yeah, if I see anything new from her regarding this question, I'll update you all very soon. Lastly, from this Embark Studios team member, there's a different raider who chimed in to ask if they're aware of the exploit where players are able to use the Zipline to fly. If you don't know what's going on, let me show you what it looks like without telling you how to do it, because I'm not trying to ruin anyone's experience, especially in a game like Arc Raiders where losing your loot due to an exploit can be a terrible feeling. Nevertheless, in this video clip here, I am currently flying in the air. At this point, you would imagine that you'd fall to your death. However, that's not the case, and you can essentially fly like Superman from across the map. Unfortunately, I don't think the developers are aware of it or have any knowledge, since her response was, "What is it?" and I didn't see anything else from her regarding this glitch, but hopefully they'll give us word on whether they're going to address it soon rather than later, right? But there is some good news regarding it because, as I just said, I don't believe the developers are aware of it. However, I might be wrong because I just saw this right now, and I'll throw it right here on the screen. This is what the community manager had to say. Thanks for the report. We'll pass it along to the team. And you can tell right here, the title of this report is Flying Glitch with the Zipline. So it appears, yeah, they are aware of it, and they should be able to fix that one up pretty quick, I'd assume. But this is coming from somebody that has no knowledge in developing, but I'm assuming. Moving along, we're going to backtrack a bit and talk about expeditions once more. And the reason is that there's an annoying bug going on for players. So I've seen a few reports so far where raiders are currently stuck on 1 out of 6 foundations in the expedition menu, even though they've filled out the entire list of resources. For example, here are a few of the reports that I'm talking about. And let me know right now in the comments if you've experienced this bug or if you haven't. Nonetheless, the community managers gave word that they've seen multiple reports online about the same issue. Here's what she wrote. Hello, please refrain from opening multiple reports about the same issue. We have received multiple reports of this previously and have already forwarded the information to the team and left them a note to let them know it is still happening. I'm afraid I don't have more information to provide at that stage, but any fix should be communicated in patch notes, so please keep an eye there. So yeah, that's pretty much all they had to say. It's kind of a downer because it's like, well, crap, it's still going on. What do I do? And unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you on what you can do, except, you know, you're gonna have to wait it out until a patch is released, right? And hopefully that'll happen this Wednesday or Thursday. If it's a hotfix, they might release it sooner. But again, I'll keep you all updated on the information going on. It's just a crappy situation right now. Okay, with that topic aside for a different day, we're going to continue on and discuss a different bug going on with the tutorial, or rather the progress. There are a few reports from players going around that the game resets their progress on every launch despite being level 30 or whatever level they are, as this title suggests. And what this player means by how it resets their progress, they're not talking about their level, neither are they talking about their overall character being reset. They're talking about primarily about how the tutorial pops up every time. So the community manager replied back to say, hello, we're aware of this issue and have forwarded the information to the team already. Some players have suggested the following in the meantime. Waiting a bit after starting Steam before launching the game seems to help, around 30 seconds at the minimum. Quitting the game when this happens without going through the tutorial and relaunching it was reported to bring players back to the screen as intended without offering the tutorial again. Hopefully that'll help you out a lot for you guys out there that are still, experiencing this. Now, even though this was posted on the 21st, I've seen some reports about how players are still experiencing it even after the recent patch. And this was on the 21st, and the last patch was on Thursday, if I'm not wrong or mistaken. But yeah, it's still going on. Alright, on a different note, the Embark Studio team knows about the bug on top of the control tower building, which is right here. If you ever end up walking across this huge metal tube, I suggest you do not walk dead center here because you'll end up getting stuck. Sometimes you can get out of it, while there are times you cannot get out of it, even if it pops up with a prompt saying, hey, fix stuck, or whatever the text is. And yeah, it'll cost you, especially if you're chasing a raider that's firing at you, right? So try to avoid this spot, and hopefully they'll be able to fix it as soon as possible, considering, again, the Embark Studio team knows about it because she wrote right here that they forwarded it to the team. Lastly, there's one more bug I'd like to cover, and you're all pretty aware of it. You all know about the whole situation with the doors and how players can force each other through the door and wait for you on the other side to take you out, or maybe they just open up the door to get all the loot from the locked rooms, right? Well, we know that they're investigating it, and someone asked here if there's any ETA on when the devs are actually going to fix it. And in response, the community manager replied, no ETA unfortunately, can only assure they're known and being worked on. I'd assume it's more complicated than it looks and could cause more issues to fix lightly. Well, as you can tell, it seems they're still working on it, and yeah, it does suck, but I'd imagine they could fix it pretty quick. I mean, there was an issue on Fallout 76 for those that played that game during the time. There was a way to clip through walls, and the developers eventually fixed it, and they also fixed it for some doors as well. Maybe they could add an extra layer to it so that it's hard to like clip through. I don't know. Again, this is an opinion coming from somebody that hasn't developed the game. I'm just guessing. But yeah, that's what's going on. Anyway, on a different note, there's something we have to absolutely talk about. If you're on the Arc Raiders Discord, you need to absolutely avoid random links. Because if you don't know, there are players who are getting hacked, they're losing their Steam accounts, and it's all because of a sketchy link. You know, the usual Discord random messages saying, hey, click this, or whatever the situation is. So right here, the community manager wrote, guys, please do not click links people send you in DMs. It's preferable to ask for a friend code or Embark ID when teaming up. And yeah, that's something you should absolutely watch out for if you are teaming up, trading, whatever the case may be. Just do not click on the sketchy links. I'm just trying to help you guys out so you know exactly what's going on, but I'll just shut up for now and we'll see how things go from here. It's not Embark Studios' fault at all. It's just random links people are clicking on in the DMs on the Arc Raiders Discord. Finally, we're now going to go over the top comments. If you'd like to be featured on the channel, all you have to do is comment below right now. Nevertheless, right here, we've got Tito23 that wrote, I really enjoy solos in this game. I'm more of a PvE, but understand PvP aspect in solos too. What truly is terrible is extraction campers. Yeah, absolutely, my friend. I think it's terrible as well, and it does suck quite a lot because you collect all the loot and then you just get taken out by someone that was camping and waiting for you. Whether that's with the, I don't know, a mine or something, it sucks. The second top comment is by Forgotten19879 that wrote, the devs need to revert the whole cracker back to the way it was. Why would you nerf a gun that you use only on the Ark? And yeah, that's a great question, and I have no idea why you would do it. Maybe they thought it was overpowered. The third and final top comment is by Van Gaverish3797, a subscriber, and I apologize if I pronounce your name wrong and whatnot. You wrote, bro, every time I get something in this game, the in-gas immediately nerf it, 1 security perk, 2 the whole cracker, finally got it and crafted all ammo for it. Yep, unfortunately that's the case, man, and I'm totally with you as well as, you know, everyone that's upset about it to an extent. But yeah, it does suck, and I'm hoping they do revert some things, at least make it powerful once again, because it was such a useful tool. So there you go, those are the top comments. Hope you have enjoyed today's video. As always, you know what's up. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a like if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you all in the next video.